Hi, welcome to the seventh night of the Earshift Music Festival, proudly supported by Sydney Improvised Music Association. I'm Jeremy Rose, and I'm really looking forward to another great night of music here. We're going to be featuring vocalist Kristin Berardi, streaming live to you from her place in Lucerne, Switzerland, which she's currently teaching. Earshift Music is an independent record label that champions jazz and creative music from the Australian music community with an international outlook. This is the fourth edition of our annual festival, and this year we're celebrating the resilience of artists in what has been a really incredibly challenged time for musicians all around the world. We're also championing the diversity of contemporary jazz and improvised music practice, brought to you direct from the intimacy of homes across around Australia and Europe. Now, Kristen is really an exceptional artist and one of my favorite vocalists out there. She's won a number of awards and released several acclaimed albums. And her recent releases of her collaborations on the Earshift label include her stunning duo with Sam Anning on the album Our Songs, Not Songs, and also working with Sean Foran and Raphael Carlin on the album Haven featuring Pascal Schumacher. But for now, I'm really excited to present Kristen here for you. So I'm going to hand it over and we'll have an artist chat at the end. So take it away.
Thanks so much for having me, Jeremy. It's important to me to stay a part of the Oz scene as well. I'm going to remove these. Thought I'd start with one of the ones Sam and I recorded. This is called More Than We Need. So if I tread softly, will that mean you stay sleeping? There's no guarantees in this world. Trying to not causing any fallout, can't ensure you won't hit a mine. But if we give from the heart, and if we say if it's honesty, we're giving out, I see. We'll have more than we need. Would I choose the same path, or was there even a choice? If I could go back and start again, but if we give from the heart, and if we say what we mean, and if it's honesty, we're giving out, I see. We'll have more than we need. We'll see. We'll love all of the needs. We'll see. I really wanted to have a new song for this, and I don't. I have half a new song. So maybe if you follow my Instagram, hopefully I'll have that in a couple of weeks. So I'm playing all songs that have already been released. Actually, no, that's not true. I've got one song that I'm going to do that hasn't been released, but hopefully in the new year. This one is called The Light and the Dark, and that's the name of the new recording that I have coming out. Yeah. I'll just start. Stop talking. Lo lay la do, oh la do, oh hey la do, oh hey la do, la do, oh hey la, oh hey la, oh hey la do, and da 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 do, hey la do, la do, oh well alright. If you don't think you'll make it through the night, well, hold to me now, I'll stay beside you until the devil passes in its flight, and all of the while it's in the light and in the dark that we see more than we want to see. Are you hiding your spark? Did you see more than you want to see? Well, alright. If you don't think you'll make it through this ride, well, just leave me now, I'll be alright. I've done it all before. It's not a fight. With these two, I'll be fine. It's in the light and in the dark that you see more than you want to see. Are you hiding your spark? Did you see more than you want to see? Want to believe? I promise you there's a better solo on the album, because it's not me. Well, alright, if you don't think you make it through this ride, well, just leave me now, I'll be alright. I've done it all before, it's not a fight. With these two, I'll be fine. It's in the light and in the dark that we see more than we want to see. Are you hiding your spark? Did you see more than you want to see? Want to believe? Oh, Lord, oh, Lord, oh, oh, hey, Lord, hey, Lord, oh, Lord, hey, oh, 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 hey. I'm going to do one more tune of mine. This one's called He Was a Loaded Gun. And thanks again to Jeremy and Earshift and Seema. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in. And yeah, keep supporting musicians and artists where you can. And let's keep lifting each other up. Okay. Mm-hmm. was a loaded gun, years in the making, years of taking, the only one you could trust or understand, a man-made man. He was a court of law, judge and the jury, full of fury for how he saw the world from his bird's eye view, him and you. High on the hill, looking down at the common folk, judging their choices and their ways, keeping at a distance so no one could judge you the same. You're never to blame. He was a magician's hat, full of illusion, intrigue, no inclusion. He wore it like a prize. It's all a game to him, a game to win. He was a eulogy, knew the ending, always pretending, a writing of your demise as he weaved the thieves, his web of lies away from others' eyes. High on the hill, looking down at the common folk, judging all their choices and their ways, keeping at a distance so no one could judge you the same, never to blame. Was a loaded gun, years in the making, years of taking, the only one you could trust or understand, a man-made man. He was a court of law, judge and the jury, full of fury for how he saw the world from his bird's eye view, him and you. High on the hill, looking down at the common folk, judging all their choices and their ways, keeping at a distance so no one can judge you the same. You're never to blame. Oh, da, da, eh, oh, da, da.
That was wonderful.
Oh, thanks.
Really
Thanks,
wonderful.
Jeremy.
Beautiful.
Yay.
Let's talk a little bit about your album with Sam. So firstly, congratulations on a stunning recording.
Thanks.
What was it like playing in such a stripped down lineup? I mean, literally you're playing with the opposite ends of the pitch.
Yeah. True.
No drums, no piano, besides, I guess, some feature artists. But, did that pose challenges or opportunities for you?
Yeah, I think more opportunities. I really love I've worked in duo form a lot. I guess starting out in a really rural setting meant that I was like the only vocalist people could ask, yay, and second of all, it was often with one other person. So a lot of my gigs were with piano or just guitar. So I got used to that setting, and I kind of find that a bit more comfortable than adding more people.
And for those
So,
at home, I mean, where are you from again?
oh,
Just
sorry, yes. So I'm from, everyone's. I sometimes do that in talking with people. It's like what's in my head, right? Like I don't have to spell everything out. So I'm from a little country town called Kamala. Yeah, represent. And it's about 45 kilometers south of Mackay on the Bruce Highway. So you've driven through it if you've traveled north. And I started singing more in high school, and I did high school in Mackay. And yeah, so I guess that being in duo form is kind of a bit more comfortable for me. But then Sam and I had worked together, we'd be put together for different ensembles, and I think, he's an awesome musician anyway, so I'd always admired him and loved playing with him. But I think at one stage, like, we just kind of went, why don't we just do something like, because we do like these, let's do the start of the form and to the B, like just bass and voice. And so we do that, and it'd be like, oh God, that feels good. And then that's all you'd get. And so one time we were just like, shit, let's do this. And I think because we have very similar ideas around music, and definitely we feel groove in a similar way. So I guess when you find those people that you're feeling the subdivisions the same, it just makes it so easy. Because then if you're both playing, it's fine. But if you're both not playing, or if one of you is playing, it's also fine, because you're on that same wave or something.
and he's a brilliant singer-songwriter in his own right.
I know. How
Right?
good is he? Yeah, I'm so
think-
proud of him for doing his thing. It's wicked.
So, I mean, can you tell if someone has a sensibility that's playing with you, whether they sort of understand the mind of how the lyrics link to the music, and what giving the lyrics space and that sort of thing?
Yeah, totally. That's exactly it. I mean, Sam would sometimes. Well, he's a sensitive musician, but also a sensitive human. So sometimes we'd be going through a song, and I could tell he was playing it a little differently, or doing a little more, or he's changed some things, and I'd be like, man, that was wicked. What was that about? And he's like, oh, I can tell that you're feeling more comfortable with that section, so now I can add to it. Like, so in some of the more difficult things, like some of the vocalises that I'd written, I'd be like internally just going, don't stuff it up, don't stuff it up. And he's like just being really simple until I, like things like that. Like I didn't even have to communicate that. So just find yourself a Sam, people. Like but he's not available all the time because he needs to work with me. Okay. But yeah, he does. He really thinks about the words, and I guess, yeah, coming from that place, as you say, that he writes and he's thinking about how can this sonically help the story? Because that's, and I think that's kind of the point, really. Like, if we can take care of the music, if all aspects of the music can help create the setting, and the mood and the shift, and how much better is that than communicating to the people listening? Like, hopefully they can imagine it clearer or something.
Another collaboration that you have at the moment that's really interesting is your work with Dan Tepfer, who's a brilliant, innovative pianist based in New York. And he's really embraced the possibilities of live streaming and doing live stream concerts with artists in different, he's literally been performing with artists in different locations around New York City. So can you tell us about what you've been doing with him, and what you're learning about the new possibilities of technology?
Yeah, totally. So Dan Tepfer is he's he's a brilliant musician, but he really has his head around the tech side. So I didn't realize, but he's been recording his own CDs, like setting all that stuff up, all the gear, and doing that for years now. And so he's always had an understanding and I guess been growing that in-depth knowledge of all that stuff. And then when the pandemic hit, he wanted to stay on top of just playing live for people. So thankfully he asked me to do a couple of those, and he then did it we did a collaboration when I was still in Brisbane, and he developed this app that so he sent me like a keyboard to my computer. See, this is how good I am with technology, people. So he's like sending me the thing, and then I press a note on my computer, and that makes his keyboard. It's an acoustic piano, but it's also like, what is that called? The clav. It's something amazing by Yamaha, and it programs to play his. I can't even speak English now because I'm learning German. It's really bad. Yeah, so it was programming his piano, and so then I was improvising with him and his piano in real time. It's kind of amazing. So we've done a couple of things like from that far away. The audio was really difficult, I must admit. Like my audio was distorting and stuff, but I was like, trust your ear. Then we did another collaboration. I was in Lucerne and he was in Paris. And we did that live, did a few songs. And the latency wasn't too bad at all because he's developed an app where, he can play with people remotely. And it's called Jack Trip. And no. Is that his? No, his is called different. Anyway, it's like Jack Trip. Sorry, Dan. So it's like Jack Trip, but it takes the latency down to like almost nothing. It's crazy. It's so good. And it's just, I guess, keeping the possibilities of playing with people and doing it live. Because, I guess people have been touring again over here. Like I've noticed a lot of Americans have been able to come and tour. And there's a lot of things in place that you have to have your COVID pass to show that you've got your vaccinations. And so there's all these measures in place, but still this is a part of our world now. So there's this, there is a risk that, someone may have been at some after party, it could happen again at any point. Someone has symptoms in your child's school and you're all going off to get a test or something. So it's just, I guess, these things that we can do so that if we can't play together or can't meet together, having that option is pretty awesome. Because, having that interaction also with the audience is pretty great. And that's what his live streams have done, like just having a community coming together and kind of chatting about the music and keeping each other going, being real about the situation. It has been really nice too.
Yeah, well, I was going to say performing online often means that you use the collaborative element. You performed solo in this context just now, but I guess you've been able to do this online real-time collaboration with Dan. So I don't know how do you compensate for that when you're doing a solo live stream? And is it something that you really miss?
I do. I mean, I practice like this. Obviously, I teach this way, but and I mean, I prefer working with other people. Often my brain is splitting between because my piano skills aren't up at my vocal skills. Like sometimes I'll want to do something and either my vocal or my piano thing will kind of be like, and so you're sort of like, then I'm like, oh, good reminder why I work with other people, which, you know, in turn kind of gives you, it keeps you humble, and it keeps you working, you know, it keeps you wanting to, I keep having to go, okay, I keep working at my piano skills, or, you know, practicing one and then together, things like that. But I love working with other people because, you know, they come up with some beautiful things that I wouldn't go for, you know, and then that leads me into a new sonic place as well. I love that about the collective. I was encouraging some students yesterday in that, just to keep listening, because when you're listening and you're open to it, you don't have to come up with all the ideas then. It's actually really sweet because you can just, it becomes more of a group effort in your solo. It's not really your solo, it's the solo happening together. It's a really beautiful sharing kind of place.
Yeah, and I guess performing online, it's there are more challenges for engaging audiences. I mean, you know, you have to think about the staging and lighting and camera angles and, you know, your instrument, the background. I mean, are these things that you had to think about for this performance? I mean,
so I'm so bad at that. I'm bad at that. And I struggle with, when the pandemic hit, I was like, right, Kristen, this is your time to get yourself a home set up. It's happening. You can't avoid it. This is life. And then I avoided it for, you know, most of my time in Australia. And then, when did I get my interface? I think I got my interface here in Switzerland. I was like, so now you're not avoiding it any longer. So yeah, I think you need to think about the gear. You need to think about what it looks like for the people. And all these things, I must admit, don't occur naturally to me. And I think that's always been my one of my weaknesses is since I was starting out, I was like, it's about the music, man. Like, so I'm going to do really beautiful music and move you. And it doesn't matter what it looks like. And that was kind of what it was in the start. I was like I was so still, and people, my first review was that I looked like a curlew, you know, the curlew birds that just stand like super still. Yeah. So freeze frame. Yeah, that was me. So yeah, this whole thing means that, yeah, someone like me really needs to take care of that. Working with Dan has showed me so much. Like, he carries his gear, he carries this lighting thing that goes pop and then it looks amazing. And he swears by it. And I think, you know, once you've got something that works and like there's a continuity also with what he does. So you see his live stream and you're like, oh yeah, that's the Tepfer vibe, you know, which is really inspiring because, I've used my phone before with him and I'm just like, I understand why you do this stuff. This is.
but I mean, you have a great online social media presence. You know, your use of platforms such as Instagram and, you know, I see you're on TikTok. I mean, has that offered you other ways to engage with audience, and does that kind of impact the way that you create music and develop new material?
Yeah, true. I used to feel really awkward about sharing stuff, and then I remember my brother said to me, "Hey, Chris, you know, you just be on there more, like just keep being yourself, but just do it more." And so I stopped thinking about everything I did. I just tried to share more. And yeah, you're right, Jeremy. It has helped me. I'll just put up a snippet of a song, or I'll say, this is what I'm working on. Or I think, yeah, like it's been, and especially moving over here, because I didn't know anyone directly in Lucerne. I couldn't really play with anyone because when we moved, it was Christmas, but then it kind of immediately went into lockdown. So there was no way of connecting with people. So it just kept me, and TikTok has kept me kind of making music.
These aren't dance videos. These are obviously singing
exactly.
Singing and playing.
Well, you can check out my TikTok and see. No. So it's kept me feeling like I still sing, in those times where I have no singing and no people. I'm slowly starting to meet people, but it's been nice to be like, oh, I'm just going to sit down and try to do some harmonies to this really nice song and blend or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think too, maybe also being encouraging of people just to share and not worry that it's not perfect, or share some of the mistakes as well as some of the great things that you do, because you can get that whole world is a bit like everything's perfect. So it's nice to kind of feel like you can go, some real life out there too,
Yeah. Beautiful. All right. Well, we might just wrap it up, but tell us what have you got coming up? What's up on the horizon? Obviously, got a new record in the bag. So
yes, I got a record, and it's nearly all new material that will be released. It features one of my mentors from like early days for me. So Ingrid Jensen is on trumpet and playing her ass off as she does. Troy Roberts is a feature on there as well. Sam Anning produced it and plays on a couple of tracks because it just felt weird to kind of have him there, but him not playing. It was a real I made that super awkward and amazing because that's what I do sometimes. And I was like, I really want you to play, but I want you to... Anyway, so he produces and plays. And Marty Jaffa is also on bass, who's amazing. He's based in New York. Miro Sprague is on piano, a beautiful player, and Jerome Jennings is on drums. So I'm sort of looking forward to getting that out into the world. I'm slowly starting to meet some musicians here in Switzerland, so hopefully I can do some gigs here in the flesh. Start, now that travel is possible, doing some gigs. I did a gig, a live stream gig with Dan Tepfer in Paris and Daniel Gasson in Paris, so hopefully we can do some more stuff. We're looking forward to that. And I thought of something, but now it's gone. Anyway.
Well,
yeah, just writing and hopefully playing. Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get to see you perform face to face at some point, either here in Australia or over in Europe.
Yes. When I can come back, I've got a few things, a few things that are already lined up, like when that's possible, that's going to happen. So something near Adelaide and Melbourne. And that's what I'm going to start soon too, is my Churchill Fellowship.
Congratulations. That's fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting some lessons in the jazz realm, obviously, with composition and improvisation and just furthering that whole thing. But also I want to do some extended vocal techniques with some people over here. There's so many musicians that do it heck good. So I'm really excited to learn more about that.
Great. I'll look forward to that.
Thanks. Me too.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Kristen. And
thank you.
Once again, thanks a lot to Sydney Improvised Music Association and all of our other sponsors here. That's it for tonight. But hope to see you again. Thanks, Kristen.